Okay, after all these things are set up, I will go ahead in the content browser, create a folder named as 01 projects, because my I have a Unreal library project where I have kept everything related to Unreal Engine, be it props, be it tools, be it textures, materials, everything very well organized and kept. And that's a huge library. And whenever I do a project, then I always do the project in that library project, because out of the box, I will have everything I can desire of in the content browser. And after everything is done, I will just copy or migrate the project from here to another, and then I will just delete this project folder from here. So that way, my library project stays exactly as it is. And then I bring a project I start a project in the library project, get it done. Then I render and make exes, whatever it may be. If I need, I can migrate the project to an empty level just for backup sake, and I can go ahead and then delete the project from here. So the library stays exactly the same as it was before doing the project. So I can do multiple projects in the library very fast, efficiently using that library. And then once the projects are done, I can just go ahead, simply delete them, and everything will stay as it is, like nothing has happened. But I have created a project with everything I could desire and use or need for finishing a project. And once done, the library project stays intact. So that is the reason this way I always do the projects or organize the projects. So there's 01 project, and then I will right click and then go to the folder, create a new folder, and then I will name the actual project name. So it is interior tutorial. Inside interior tutorial, I will go ahead and create another folder. Name is 01 levels, and then another for 01, 02 in fact, imports. Now I'm going to name this as imports because I'm going to import things inside content browser. So the folder name will be import. Why it's 2 and why this is 1? Because this one 01 levels means the first folder I have created for the project is levels. That is the reason I have named it as 01, because this was the first folder. The import folder is the second folder I created for the project, so it is 02. And what it's going to do, it's going to hold all the imported items for the scene or for the project. So it's named as import. And the levels, it's going to hold all the levels of the scene. That is the reason the folder name. So you can see everything is making sense and done and named accordingly. Plus, I also explained why I'm created this, because if you happen to use your own library, then you can, after the project is done, you can just go ahead and migrate this project for backup purposes and then delete this entire project from the content browser. So just go ahead and right click project. Just assume the project is finished and you have taken the backup. All you need to do is close Unreal Engine, go to this address or wherever you have kept, and simply delete this. Done. And your library project is just as it is, as earlier it was. But while you were working, everything was there for your use. That is the important point. Okay, so once we have created this level folder, import folder, what I'm going to do is I will go to file. So when you are going to create the first level for your project, use file, new level. Yes, you can go ahead, right click and create new level from here, create new level from here afterwards. Like there are multiple ways of creating levels, but I will recommend the first level which you are going to create for your project, you should be creating from here, or here also you can go ahead and create. But I prefer creating it from here, new level, and then always create an empty level. Why empty level? Because empty level for us will consist nothing except the starter, like player start node or player start entity. Except this, it will hold nothing. Sometimes you can also keep that player start on any other levels of your project. This should be always empty. This is what I prefer. So I'll always go ahead and create an empty, and I always work in sub levels. So I will be explaining how we can use sub-levels to help us do a project in multiple ways, and you will be realizing it once we proceed further. So we'll go ahead and create an empty level. And after empty level is created, I will go ahead in File and click on Save Current Level As. And then we will go here and then into Tutorial Levels. And I will name it as MLV, because MLV stands for main level. So I'll name it as MLV or persistent. So main level should be only one level for every project. It should be only one level named as MLV because that will be the main level, or you can also call it as persistent level. That means that level will hold all the other sub-levels within it. Plus it's like interior and then it's tutorial. So I go ahead and save it. So now first level is saved, like created and saved, as you can see. Now if I again have to go ahead and create another level for maybe lights, maybe for importing things, or maybe any reason, you can go ahead and create multiple ways. Like if you create from here, this level will be closed and the new level will be open. That is not good because again you have to go ahead here and then open it. It's mess. Right click here, create level. Also you can create it, but after that, since you are going to create that level for a sub level system, then you will have to go ahead and drag and drop it into the level tab. So instead of doing all this, every other levels or every sub levels which you are going to create for the project should be created from here. Create new level rather than creating here and from here. So I think that makes sense. So every time you have to create a sub level, it's always better to create it from here rather than creating from here to there. If you create here, then you'll have to drag and drop here. If you create from here, it will be already created and present here in this level panel. So create new, and then again, it's going to be empty. And then it will ask for a place to save. And now the name of this level will be SLV. SLV stands for sub level. Okay, so we can distinguish between which are levels and sub levels. So here I will go ahead and name it as SLV because it's going to be a sub level of this project. And what we are going to do on this level, we are going to import the entire scene on this level. So it will be named as imports. And the moment it's imported, it's a blueprint only. That means in game it will not be loaded. You can go ahead, right click, go to change streaming method, and instead of blueprint you can change it to always loaded. If you want to create every sub levels automatically as always loaded, you can go ahead and change from here, or there's something like here. So default streaming method, it's blueprint. So if you change it to always loaded, and every time you create a new level, it will always be loaded, and you can change it to blueprint if you need. But I prefer keeping it default because I can go ahead and just right click and change it to always loaded anyway. It's not a big time consuming, but if you have to create, if you are working on a very big project where you have hundreds of level inside this, then in that case, you can go ahead and use it if you need. So we have created a SLV import level, and now we are going to import everything on this level. Since we have used the template Artways, if you go here, our datasmith, it is already activated. It's there for us. We don't have to go ahead and then activate and then restart. That is the beauty of using that template. And it's not only the beauty. All the project setting was already done for us. We just enabled mega lights and then used high precision normal. Except that we did nothing on the project. Otherwise, we would have to do lots of things on the project settings to make it ready for rendering a high quality cinematic. But that template did all for us automatically. That is the use of everything, the entire process. Everything gets streamlined and efficient because of my experience, and I want to share my experience with all of you to save you time. So I'll go ahead and then go to datasmith, file import, and then I will go to desktop, export, and then I go to tutorial, and then here it's 01 export, and I will click on open. Then I will go here in this, and I have already created a folder for imports, if you remember. Then click OK, and then make sure only geometry, materials, and texture are selected. Lights, camera, animation, we don't need. We are going to do the lighting our own way because lighting behavior or lighting in Max is different. Lighting behavior in Unreal Engine is different, and we have to do lighting according to the real-time application, which is Unreal Engine. The lights, you can go ahead and bring all the lights from Max to Unreal Engine. It is possible. They will be, but they will not be behaving the way you want them. And anyway, we have to learn how to do the lighting of a scene. Plus, lighting has to be done in a way where Unreal Engine behaves accurately and perfectly. So in that case, it's always wise to do the lighting in Unreal Engine. If you bring from Max, it's not going to be exactly the same as it was in Unreal Engine, and it will not behave, it was in Max, and it will not behave the way it was behaving in Max anyways. Here, you can go ahead and reset this too, and you have to disable generate light maps because we are going to render only cinematic. But if you want that, or maybe if you need to convert this project into a VR application, now Lumen does support VR, so you are not limited to using baking only for rendering or creating a VR application. You can go ahead and use Lumen for creating a VR application, interactive application, real time. You can go ahead and use baking for creating real-time and VR. It will not be interactive too much. Only a few things can be made interactive, like changing materials in a baked scene. So it depends. So since we are using the Lumen technology and Nanite, and then even if we have to convert it into a real-time interactive and VR, we are going to use Lumen technology only. In that case, for future, if we have to optimize the project for performance, then not having multiple UVs on every object is better than having them. So this will not create the second UV channel on all the objects. That will help us reduce some strain on the memory because Lumen doesn't need it. So I'd always recommend it to keep it switch off in it light map UVs for a Lumen scene, even if we have to go ahead and make it interactive and real time and VR in future, because now the engine Lumen is capable of doing all those sorts of things inside. So geometry, material and texture, and then this one makes you generate light map UVs is switched off. And then we will go ahead and click import. After the file is imported, you have to wait for preparing the static mesh and compiling the shaders. Let it prepare all the meshes, let it compile all the shaders. And once that's done, then you have to save the project first. So once the comparison is done, import is done, go to file and use save all, or you can just press Ctrl Shift S. So you can see here Ctrl Shift S for save all. Everything will be saved. I'm going to go ahead and click on this to show you all that this Ctrl Shift S is a shortcut. So this is the next step you have to do after the file is imported and shaders are compiled. Okay. Now, after the scene is imported and saved, I'm going to go ahead and change this to unlit mode. And then now I can go ahead and right click on the mouse and then press W to go forward, S to go back, D to go right, and A to go left. While I have pressed the mouse on right button on the mouse. If I'm pressing W and it goes very fast, WS, and if you want to slow down. So while the right mouse is pressed, scroll down the scroll mouse backward, and then now you will be scrolling very slowly. When you press W while right button is clicked, it is going to be slowly. You can look around, and if you want to move faster, just scroll up your mouse. So this is the way I will be navigating every time in the scene. Right click and then WASD along with a scroll mouse up and down depending on how fast I want the movement to be. So if I will scroll up, it's going to be very fast. If I scroll down, it's going to be very slow. So it depends. So it's very, very amazing way of navigating the scene. And once you practice this, this is going to increase your productivity a lot. So I will highly recommend this. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create several bookmarks of the scene right here, because bookmark helps us understand the how lighting is behaving, how materials are looking, how the post-processing looks. And to get a better understanding, we should be having proper fixed viewports, which will give us a good perspective of every activity which we are performing at the moment. Or at the specific moment. So I will start with creating a bookmark on this viewport. I have pressed right click, scrolling the mouse to make it fast or slow, and then pressing WSD and then rotating the viewport accordingly. And then I'll create the first bookmark here. And to create the first bookmark, you have to press Control and then 1 to create the bookmark. And then if you happen to move the viewport and then click 1, then the bookmark, you can switch between bookmark 1, 2, 3, 4 to switch, Control 1, 2, 3, 4, and so to create. I will go ahead and create another bookmark like here, and I'm here in unlit mode. So you should be aware because we haven't added any light. So it's always better to have the scene in unlit mode for the moment. Then I'm going to go ahead and create the second bookmark here. Then maybe third bookmark. It's just to see the project as much as you can. So third bookmark, and then maybe a bookmark from this side might help us while doing the material. So 4 bookmarks. You can go ahead and create multiple bookmarks up to 9 or 10. But I generally keep a bookmark number of bookmarks, the amount it needs. So it's a small project, so we don't need too much. It's anyway a very small project, so we don't have lots of space to add all the bookmarks. The entire process which I'm explaining in this course can be applied on any scale of project. So if it's an architecture project, no matter how big or small is, if it's an interior, if it's a 4 BHK, 5 BHK, 6 BHK, 2 BHK, 1 BHK, doesn't matter. The entire workflow will be working same as it is. You just have to do every step as I am explaining, and the result will be flawless out of the box. I have tested the entire workflow on multiple size project that is of interior and architecture related. So go ahead and do as much big project as you want using all this process. The project should be related to hardcore architecture because every step I have done is focused on the interior architecture cinematic rendering.